Hello again, everybody. Zack Attack is here with another special video. I found out this news as I woke up this afternoon about news I kind of hinted about at the beginning of my wall review on Monday. I said there was rumors flying about getting rid of branded pay-per-views. Well, those rumors ended up being true. I got an email this morning from the WWE Network announcing that they are going to get rid of branded pay-per-views. I'll give you my thoughts on that, about what positives and negatives will come out of it, of this announcement. And plus, other rumors that might be flying about these pay-per-views that weren't addressed yet, that may be addressed later. So, woke up this morning, like I normally do, and I got this email from the WWE Network because I'm subscribed. I've been a subscriber since day one. And next week's the 4-year anniversary, so that's awesome. WWE Network turns 4. Still remembered. Trying to log in. My review of the first day is actually on this channel. So I got this email. I don't know if you can see it. It says, more of what you want. After WrestleMania, you'll get the best of both brands every month on every pay-per-view. So there was rumblings about this starting with Backlash, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're going to start with Backlash. They've really trimmed down the pay-per-view schedule for the last... I remember when they had the brand split 2.0, there's like a pay-per-view every 2 weeks. Now they've slowed down the pay-per-view rate. And now, apparently, ticket sales for the branded pay-per-views aren't selling. Even I said to myself, when Hell in a Cell was announced in October, 4 October of last year at the LCA, Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, I said I didn't want a branded pay-per-view. I wanted multi-branded. I didn't want to go to Hell in a Cell at first. So I wanted multi-brand. I wanted both brands. So I went to Hell in a Cell on circumstance. Because I was supposed to go to a wrestling thing in Detroit and my plans for that went through. And then Ring of Honor was going to be at Soaring Eagle. I couldn't go to Soaring. So I went to Hell in a Cell by circumstance. And I'm going to Wall next month. Hell, my dad was going to go to Phoenix. And we were going to go to both Raw and SmackDown. They were both back to back. But we didn't do that. Because I want multi-branded. But now, starting with Backlash, it will be multi-branded. So, here's the updated schedule. May 6th, Backlash, pushing it up a few weeks. Of course, April 8th will be WrestleMania. June 17th will be Money in the Bank. I'm happy. That was announced to be multi-branded months ago. Money in the Bank. I'm happy they're making Money in the Bank multi-branded again. Because it didn't feel right last year when it was 2 Money in the Banks, but it was just a men and women's. I want a Raw and a SmackDown one. You know what I mean? If they have a third Money in the Bank with the women, let me read if there was 3 Money in the Bank matches. Now we got multi-branded and women. So we're interested. The Extreme Rules is in July 15th. That's the day of a concert, so I can miss that. SummerSlam is August 19th. Hell in a Cell moving up a month to September 16th. TLC, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. It was in a summer pay-per-view, and now it's in October for the second year in a row. It will be on October 21st. Survivor Series is November 18th, and Clash of Champions is December 16th. So, they're not doing 2 pay-per-views a month. They went back to 1 pay-per-view a month. And if you notice, 2 pay-per-views from last year were missing. Payback and Battleground, which are great to see them gone. Because Battleground sucked the last year, especially last year. Battleground had a distinction of being one of the worst pay-per-views of the year last year, next to last year's Fastlane. Which hopefully this year's Fastlane do not suck. Especially this year, SmackDown gets Fastlane instead of Raw. And Fastlane will be the last branded pay-per-view. Elimination Chamber will go on next Sunday as a Raw pay-per-view, and Fastlane will go on as a SmackDown. So these 2 pay-per-views coming up will be the end of the branded pay-per-views. Do I think it's a good decision to go back to all pay-per-views being multi-branded? I think it's an interesting decision. I said this as well in my one review that they've done this before. Like during the first brand split, they had these branded pay-per-views. I think either 06 or 07, they got rid of the branded pay-per-views and just had every pay-per-view be multi-branded because the ticket sales weren't doing good, and it was like repetitive cards, like the same people fighting each other every month, and needed more variety. So the positive is that you're gonna see both brands every month. You know, interact with each other, maybe. But you probably still get Raw vs. SmackDown matches at the Survivor Series. That's the only time you're gonna get like brand against brand matches, besides maybe like a couple matches in WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, obviously. It's gonna be brand exclusive when it comes to the matches on the pay-per-views, multi-branded or not. So, especially for people who are going to the shows, like it may be enticing people to buy tickets. It may buy people to buy network because apparently the network wasn't getting too much buy rates from the B-PPVs. Because sometimes the B-PPVs don't have a good card. Sometimes, for example, Clash of the Champions in December. There was a SmackDown pay-per-view, and SmackDown was at its lowest. You know, Jinder Mahal was just coming off a champion, thank God. But the call for that pay-per-view was like, you know what I mean? That's why I think they made the decision to make all B-level pay-per-views multi-branded again. So that's a positive. And everyone can see all their favorite stars from both brands in one show. That isn't a big 4 or big 5 in Money in the Bank. Negatives. Some champions might get shafted because in the multi-branded pay-per-views, not all champions might be booked for the B-level pay-per-views. You know, for the big 4, big 5 Money in the Bank, counting that, they're probably going to get all the champions, try to get all the champions booked. But sometimes there was a lot of years when the IC Championship wasn't defended at Mania, and also at SummerSlam. Including this year's SummerSlam, this past SummerSlam, IC title wasn't even on the line at SummerSlam. Miz was in a pre-show match when half the crowd was still getting into Brooklyn's Barclays Center. So that can be a negative. Is not all champions might be booked because some champions may not be able to defend during B-level pay-per-views, and all champions may be forced on other matches or not even on the card, or maybe make an appearance on like a talk show. They have a talk show on a pay-per-view, so that could be a negative. Is not enough room for the champions. But that might change with the rumor that has been buzzing that was not addressed today, which I'll get to. Another negative could be, it could be all too much, especially if the rumor of all B-level pay-per-views adding an hour. You know what I mean? It's already a lot of wrestling to deal with, and now we're going to have both brands on every pay-per-view now. Every pay-per-view is going to include both brands. You know, just having the 4 or 5 with them made it cool. You know, like the only times you only see both brands interact with each other 5 times a year. And now you get to interact with them a lot more. So that could bring a lot more variety, but the negative could be like you see a lot more than you should of both brands together. But hey, they want ticket sales, and they're trying to find a way to solve the brand split thing without making it obsolete. You know what I mean? Just getting rid of the branded pay-per-views. So that's what they're doing. I'm happy that they're going back to pay-per-view a month. Happy to get rid of some others. But there were some speculations that were not addressed today. Maybe addressed another time. According to rumors, not only was the rumors flying about there being all B-level pay-per-views being multi-branded, but also all B-level pay-per-views would be 4 hours as well. No. All pay-per-views should not be 4 hours. The Big Four, I've bitched about it a couple of times about the Big Four pay-per-views. Not all of them should be 4 hours. Mania deserves to be 4 hours. Rumble kind of did deserve to be 4 hours. SummerSlam should not be 4 hours. It's been a bore the last couple of years. Sometimes it dragged a little the last 2 years since it's been a 4-hour pay-per-view. It's Survivor Series doesn't even be 4 hours. Now, if I have an opinion about whether or not all Big 4 pay-per-views should be 4 hours or not, same with the opinion about whether or not the B-level pay-per-views should be 4 hours. I say no. I say hell no. The B-level pay-per-view should not be a 4-hour show. But if you do a 4-hour B-level pay-per-view, don't do a fucking 2-hour pre-show that you do for the Big 4. But apparently the rumors were saying that the B-level was going to be 4 hours and only a 1-hour pre-show with 2 matches. So all B-level pay-per-views would be 5. Well, technically, the B-level pay-per-views are technically 4 hours to begin with. You get the main 3-hour show and the 1-hour pre-show. Basically, just adding another hour to a B-level show. But some people don't even watch the B-level pre-show sometimes. So, but now you have a potentially 5-hour B-level pay-per-view. If they decide to add an hour to the main pay-per-view. Make all B-level pay-per-views be 4 hours on main pay-per-view. Now, like I said, those rumors were not addressed today about whether or not all B-level would be 4 hours or not. Maybe we'll find that out soon enough. But, so that's what's happening. We're going back to all multi-branded pay-per-views. All the B pay-per-views will be multi-branded starting on May 6th with Backlash. They're moving that up a few weeks because I think it was May 21st last year. I was in Columbus, Ohio that weekend for Walking the Range, so I was not able to see Backlash live. I saw it when I came back. And my dad said if they're going to do 4 hours, maybe do some NXT crossover. But I said, no. You're going to have 4 hours with all the brands. So that could be, like I said, my negative, I said, would be not all the champions would be booked. But now if all B-level pay-per-views are 4 hours, all the titles can be booked. But then they maybe have the pre-show. And they've had a lot of time matches in the pre-show. And it's a habit of them putting title matches in pre-shows. And some of them do well, some of them do not belong in the pre-show. Like Usos and New Day should have been on the main show of SummerSlam last year. Big Show and Big Cass should have been on the pre-show. And Aries and Neville won the Mania pre-show. They should have been main show. So, there's that. So, it's an interesting move. Hey, W knows they're trying to move without Vince at the helm now that Vince is concerned with the relaunch of the XFL. And Triple H is taking more control of things. He's taking over more of 205 Live, which is showing because 205 Live is getting better. Long way to go, but at least they're finally putting the action on 205 Live that they should have had on there a long time ago. We're back to the matches they provided on the CWC. They had to take chances, make mistakes, and get whiskey and break the chains of the limits they were given to them to not wrestle the CWC main roster. Now they're allowed to wrestle the CWC style matches on main roster, and it's good on 205 Live now. And we got Rockstar Spud as a manager. Not Maverick, Rockstar Spud. Not Blade Maverick, Rockstar Spud. Fuck that name. So, there's that. So it's going to be very intriguing to see this happen with the B-level pay-per-views being all multi-branded. So thank you so much for watching this very little thought video. And I will probably see you all on Monday for my War review. And also sometime next week, I will make a predictions video for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view event. So I'll be seeing y'all very soon. With that in mind, you've been attacked by the thoughts from Zach. See you next time. Bye-bye.